to make your soul full. Let's go. Kind of like this right here. Yeah. Got me feeling some type of way. I told y'all it was musicians that brought me into the truth. Got me up here dancing in the booth. They say the truth shall set you free, give you liberty, trick me. With your lies, you must be kidding me. The end is almost here of this captivity. It's time to repent. They say the truth shall set you free, give you liberty, trick me. With your lies, you must be kidding me. The end is almost here of this captivity. It's time to repent. Now watch this. The blessings, the curses, the lesson, the purpose. When we break God's laws, it's aggression, just worship. Don't do it. The kingdom, the promise, the greatness, the honors. I want to live to see the day when Satan's demolished. Now, one time for my sister on the soul track, showbiz, AG. Can I get a soul clap? Old man is dead, and I don't want to go back. 12 tribes of Israel, this is bigger than just pro-black. Some speak of peace, and some prophesy doom. Moral of the story is prepare for the bridegroom. He may come at night, he may come at high noon. Everything destroyed like winds from a typhoon, always on time. I said your house never late. Apply the precepts to life so you can elevate. It won't be long before our people's in a better state. And when we get to heaven, damn right we're gonna celebrate. And I ain't talking about a place that's invisible. Give us our kingdom on earth in the physical. Revelation 5 and 10, because the spiritual church is a scam, so be careful who you listen to and don't be so easily led. Sheep need to be fed. What's understood never needs to be said. So I teach on the corner student in my black boots. Always stay humble and keep my movements bright. They say the truth shall set you free, give you liberty, trick me. With your lies, you must be kidding me. The end is almost here of this captivity. It's time to repent. They say the truth shall set you free, give you liberty, trick me. With your lies, you must be kidding me. The end is almost here of this captivity. It's time to repent. Now watch this. Laws and commandments discovered on fragments from the Dead Sea, hidden in caves. We're not physical slaves, a hero, a villain, our women, our children. The nation we're building, hopefully the Most High is willing now. One time for my sister on the soul track, Ash told me rhyme, so I did it on this throwback. Peace to my captain, my gun. I'm only rapping for fun, still working on the man I have to become. And that's a lifelong process, came right from project. And read about the saints wearing white long garments in Revelation 7 and in Revelation 7. I want to take part in the first resurrection, and that's my analysis on straddle the fence. No hope for the wicked when the battle begins, cause I tell you the truth, am I there for your enemy? If you know the words of the bridge, then just sing with me. Israel is on the rise, laws and commandments, they saved our lives. Israel is on the rise, laws and commandments, they saved our lives. Israel is on the rise, laws and commandments, they saved our lives. Israel is on the rise, laws and commandments, they saved our lives. True. Hey, shalom, shalom, family. Peace and blessings, and welcome to another edition of Maccabees TV. It's your host, your brother, your humble servant, Brother Priest Daniela, Lions of Israel. Yo, I know it's dark up in here, y'all. That's because it's dark outside. It's dark outside, man. We've been having some real messed up weather in the Northeast. I think that's the only thing that kind of makes this whole quarantine thing not so bad. It's been rainy and cold in the Northeast like all spring. So we're not really missing something. It would be even worse if it was 80 degrees, 85 degrees, and you can't go to the park, you can't go here, you can't go there. It'd be worse, but it's nasty outside, man. I got to do better with the lighting. I already know. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking extra black today, but I'm actually happy about that. All praise to the Most High for that. All praises to the Most High for that. Welcome to another edition of Maccabees TV. It's your brother, Priest Dan. Yo, I'm over here sipping on some herbs. I don't know what's in it. I was told don't ask no questions, just drink it. So that's what I'm doing. So if you see me sipping on this and I make up my face like a 5-year-old, it's because it tastes like somebody went outside and got some dirt and put some water in it and mixed it together and told me to drink it. That's how it tastes. But I don't eat for taste and I don't drink for taste all the time. You know, we're in a time now more than ever when we got to take care of our temple. We got to take care of our body to the best of our ability, as well as have faith in the Most High. Everything is a balance, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another edition, as I said twice, of Maccabees TV. As you come in the house, can you please hit the like button? You know what I ask you. That way the algorithm goes out the way it works and more people know we're live. They can come in and they can join the conversation. Now, depending on what type of
audience participation I get today, that's what I'm going to go into. I have some things up on my screen that I wanted to talk to you, brothers and sisters, about, but I'm going to move in the spirit. I'm going to move in the spirit. So as the spirit leads, and as long as y'all are engaged in what I'm going into, I'm going to go across a gamut of topics, and they're not all going to be related, but I haven't been live in about a week. You know, I've been, occupied, whatever like that. Shalom to everybody, man. I see, let me give some shout outs. Let me give some shout outs to my peoples. Who's in the building? Who's in the building with me? I see Nugget is in the building. Shalom to you. Marvin Moe, of course, shalom to you. Heart of a Lion, peace. I believe you are the person that told me you was going to email me at Maccabees TV. I don't know if you did. If you email me, I'm going to go check for it when I'm done. But usually I get something on my cell phone. I didn't see that. So I'm hoping that you did. But if you didn't, anyway, shalom to you. Israelites still learning, shalom to you. Of course, Heavenly 13, shalom to you. Fish, shalom to you. Peace and blessings to everybody that's watching in the Healthy Hebrews group too. All right, so I started broadcasting live over there. Originally, I was broadcasting in Maccabees TV on Facebook. Today, I kind of did a little bit of a change, and we're broadcasting from the Healthy Hebrews group. So peace and blessings and shalom to everybody that's watching over there. I'm going to try to broadcast from multiple platforms, at least 3 or 4, every time I go live. First thing is first, before I go any further, and I'm kind of shalom, Officer Martabar, shalom to you too as well. First and foremost, I want to say to brothers and sisters that's watching before we begin, I want to say to you, brothers and sisters, I want to give my sincere and heartfelt condolences to any of you brothers or sisters that may have lost somebody due to this coronavirus. I would be amiss if I didn't start there, right? Because at the end of the day, as much as we talk about health and wellness, the coronavirus is real. People are dying from that thing. People are dying from other complications, but they also are dying from coronavirus, as we see. So to any of you brothers and sisters that may have suffered a loss in the coronavirus, I want to say to you my deepest condolences to you. And this is especially hard because when you have a loved one and you have half the country, if more than half the country, on lockdown, and you don't even get the dignity of saying a final goodbye or burying your loved one, because now they're limiting the number of gatherings. You can't have a funeral. You can't this, you can't that. They're not even allowing people to go into the hospital before the person dies in certain places. In certain places, they then put you on a damn Instagram. You're saying body your loved ones on Instagram Live. It's sad. It's sad. So I definitely want to give my heartfelt condolences to any of you brothers or sisters that may have lost somebody in this coronavirus. All right. Stay woke. I see that you said you got the book Unwrapping the Pharaohs. That is excellent. That's excellent, man. And if you have any questions, email me at maccabeestv.com and I'll tell you the important pages and why it's very important to know what's in that book and how you can use it to defend the scriptures. All right. As I said, to those of y'all just coming in, I'm drinking some herbs here. It's nasty, so just pardon my facial expressions. Don't laugh at me. I don't eat and drink just for taste, brothers and sisters. I eat and drink to stay healthy. All right, I eat and drink to stay healthy. So, all right. Yes, that stuff is nasty. All right, so while we're gonna go ahead and get started, there's a lot to talk about today, brothers and sisters, and your participation will depend on how long that I'm actually live and how much information that I actually go into today. And know everything I'm going into will not be related to the coronavirus, because I know some of you brothers and sisters have fatigue over this coronavirus, and so do I. It's just too much sometimes. Morning, noon, and night, the coverage, but we still are definitely going to talk about it. And I'm going to show you some things the mainstream media is not telling you, but I'm also going to go into some other stuff, some other information, maybe some things that you brothers and sisters never saw before. So while I'm talking, and before I get to that, if you want to run and get a pen and a pad, you might see something today that you never saw before. You just might. It all depends on audience participation. With that being said, brothers and sisters, I'm going to start off with a video. How many of you brothers and sisters saw the video on YouTube? And I want you to put one in the chat. Let me know. How many of you brothers and sisters saw the video where they got all the black entertainers to come together to do a song about washing your hands? How many of y'all saw that video? If you saw that video, put one in the chat. Let me know if y'all saw that video. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play it for you. Oh, y'all didn't see that, huh? Okay, cool. Y'all didn't see that. I'm seeing a lot of twos on here. People did not see that video. Interesting. Okay, so while we're waiting for some more brothers and sisters to come in, let's go ahead and let's share the screen, and let's go ahead and let's look at this video that they did. Now, black people, of all the things that when I say black people, I'm talking about Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Of all the things that we can come together to talk about, of all the things that celebrities could come together and make a song about, we could make songs about us stop killing each other. I'm talking about celebrities. We can make songs about stopping our children from being abducted. We can make songs about eating better. We can make songs about cleaning up our communities, investing in our communities. Hell, we can make songs about the Most High and the Bible, as some of us do. We can make a lot of songs about a lot of things, but Negroes got together and made a song about washing your hands. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me share my screen. And as I mentioned, as I'm going to keep mentioning, as you're coming in the building, make sure you hit the like button. All right, let's go. Look at this. I want you brothers and sisters to see this, right? The name of the song is called 20 Seconds or More, featuring Dougie Fresh, Artie Green, and Jerry Gunn. And they're making a song about washing your goodness gracious hands. Let's listen.
Shout out to the hip hop public health. All the healthcare workers on the front line. Together, we can make a difference. What's good, y'all? This is Dougie Fresh coming at you live and direct. All of y'all out there, got a couple of things I want to talk to y'all about. Wash your hands, everybody, and everybody. Wash your hands.
You can't be serious.
Come on. Wash your hands, everybody, and everybody. Wash your hands. My people uptown, wash your hands. My people downtown, wash your hands. People from the East Coast, wash your hands. People from the West Coast, wash your hands.
You mean to tell me? I'm gonna let it play. You mean to tell me you had to make a whole video production and get a ton of celebrities and all of y'all doing that to tell people to wash their hands for 20 minutes? Look, if you didn't know to wash your hands before the coronavirus, then you need a whole lot of other help than probably we can give you. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's go.
First and foremost, please listen close. Take your time, watch. Use a lot of soap from the front to the back, back to the front, and the hook where you at. That's exactly what we want. If you decide to leave, please take heed. Talk a social distance, at least 6 feet. On the bus or the train, riding in your car. The further you're away, then the better off you are. 20 seconds or more. You gotta be able to wash your hands like you never ever washed them before.
He said, no, I'm gonna stop it, goddammit. He said you gotta be able to wash your hands like you never washed them before, huh? So before, if you're washing your hands now for 20 seconds, how long was you washing your hands before? Like, let me know something. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Let me just go ahead. Let me go ahead.
You need to wash them when you get to the door. 20 seconds or more. Take your time, sing a song, fit around. When you finish, you can pull some blood. 20 seconds or more. It's very important to wash your hands. You're protecting everybody you love. Wash your hands, everybody, and everybody. Wash your hands. Come on, wash your hands, everybody, and everybody. Wash your hands. People from the Midwest, wash your hands. Dirty South, wash your hands. People overseas, wash your hands. And everybody, wash your hands. Now if you can push a little fever, shortness of the breath, slight little cough, feeling in your chest, you should call your doctor. Doctor knows what's best. Don't go running to the hospital because you could be a threat. The virus is contagious. Listen, it ain't playing. You ain't see the movie, yo, it's kinda like contagious. Gotta wash hands thoroughly, even sanitize. Open up your eyes, we don't want to see them revive. Coronavirus. Taste to see. We are living in a state of emergency. So wash your hands, save a life, it's only right. No matter what you're going through, together we can make it right. Come on, wash your hands, everybody, and everybody. Wash your hands. Come on, wash your hands, everybody, and everybody. Wash your hands. My people up there, wash your hands. People from the East Coast, wash your hands. People from the West Coast, wash your hands. That's right. Pandemic, pandemic, social distance, non-existent. Don't resist this, get gone in an instant. If you miss this, pandemic, pandemic, social distance, non-existence. Don't resist this, kick on in an instant. If you miss this, epidemic, pandemic, social distance, non-existence. Don't resist this, kick on in an instant. If you miss this.
And that's what I want y'all to see right there. This thing was put together by Big Pharma. Y'all see who produced, who sponsored, I should say. That's the word I'm looking for. Who sponsored that video? Bristol Myers Squibb. Because all we can do during this coronavirus is wash our hands and use sanitizer, wear a mask, and wear gloves. That's the only solution. Nothing else. Nothing else. Crazy, man. Crazy. Crazy. That's crazy. You know, it's really of all the things, like where was the message to eat better? Where was that? Where was the message to take care and try to boost your immune system? Get off the milk, get off the cheese, get off the dairy, cut down on some of the meats, maybe eat once a day. Where was the message about fasting? Where was the message about living a healthy lifestyle every day? Where was the message about flushes, about cleanses, about cleaning your blood, about exercising? Where was that? No. Negroes get together and they do a song about washing your hands that was sponsored by Big Pharma. So I thought that was I thought that was really interesting. I figured a lot of y'all probably didn't see it, but when I saw it, man, I was just cursing under my breath because I'm like, that was a squandered opportunity. That was a wasted opportunity for our people to, if you're gonna do a song and really, really go into it. I'm not saying you can't mention washing your hands, nor am I saying that there's anything wrong with washing your hands either. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's funny what our people come together for, but it's really even sadder what our people don't come together for. That's the point. All right, Brett family, make sure y'all come on. Let me see what the ratio is over here, man, because y'all playing me. What's the ratio over here? I only got 34 likes. Let's go. Let's get them likes up. Let's get them likes up. Get them likes up. All right. All right. Now, let's move on. Let's see what we have here. I got a whole bunch of tabs that I'm going to go through real quick. Before I go any further, family, I'm going to ask you brothers and sisters for 10 minutes of your time. I'm going to tell you brothers and sisters a real quick story. And I don't normally share personal stuff, but it kind of goes with the interview that we did with the nurse like a week and a half ago that you brothers and sisters saw. It kind of goes with the story, and it's relevant to what's going on with this coronavirus, right? Many of you don't know this because I swore my camp to secrecy, right? But at 2 times, in 2011 and 2013, I could have checked out twice. A lot of y'all don't know that because I don't really put my personal information online. And when I did get sick the second time, I told the camp that they better not go to social media and say nothing, right? But I'm gonna give you brothers and sisters a story. And I'm gonna get a little personal only because I think it's relevant to what's going on with this coronavirus, right? So you brothers and sisters have seen how a lot of nurses, not just the nurse that we interviewed, but a lot of nurses and doctors are coming out, as well as the memo from the CDC, et cetera, is coming out, talking about how the numbers of the coronavirus are not accurate, right? They're inflated. I think we've all pretty much seen or heard that, right? I'm gonna give you brothers and sisters a story. In 2011, well, first of all, I'm predisposed. That's why I'm all on this herb thing and everything. I'm predisposed to asthma. I grew up with that thing, right? So I know the symptoms of asthma. I know sometimes when I have an asthma attack, which I haven't had in a long time, why I'm having it, et cetera, et cetera. I know these things, right? So I grew up and know about the herbs, and I've always been on the herbs and everything for many, many years. You're talking about 2 decades, maybe more. So in 2011, I was working 2 jobs at the time. I'm Benjamin. I'm always working 2 jobs. And what happened was when you're working 2 jobs, in between jobs, you don't have time to eat healthy. You just eat whatever you can put your hands on, right? And I know better than doing that, but I was doing it anyway. And it got to a point where I had a very, very, very bad asthma attack in 2011. This is before Bun Lawyer passed away. And they admitted me to the hospital in 2011. And what happened was When I was in the hospital, right, the doctors and stuff, they had me in there. I was in there for like about, I'm gonna say about 3 days, right? And my symptoms for my asthma, you know, when you go in to have an asthma attack, for those of you that have asthma or have children that have asthma, you know the drill. When you go into the hospital, they take you to what they call the triage room, right? And they put that daggone mask on you and pump that albuterol in your system, right? Now I'm sitting there cursing myself out, knowing what the hell I did, knowing that I've been eating too much dairy, too much this, too much that, whatever, but that's not the point. And so they gave me the triage and everything, and I felt better. But the doctor told me, hey, you know what? We want to keep you for a couple of days, and we want to kind of, monitor your health. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they admitted me in the hospital. This is 2011. And I was in there for 3 days, and I felt better, right? And, I was talking to myself in the hospital. I wasn't answering myself. But I was talking to myself in the hospital. I was saying, you know better. You know why this is happening. Yeah, the Most High is allowing it to happen to you to get your attention, whatever. Cool. I'm leaving out major portions of the story to get to my point of what I'm saying. So I'm in the hospital for 3 days. So I start to ask the nurses and the doctors, all right, when am I leaving? And the nurses said, well, we're going to ask the doctor. And every day the doctor would come in, he would be like, no, we just want to keep you for a few days longer and monitor you. I'm like, yo, dude, I'm feeling better. I'm ready to go. Because now I know I'm going to go home. I'm going to get all the herbs and everything I need to go, and I'm going to take care of the rest. You know what I'm saying? Y'all help me. I'm going to take care of the rest. Dudes wouldn't let me out. So my 4th day in the hospital, I said, F that, I'm leaving. I'm signing myself out. So I told the nurse, she's like, all right, you can't leave until I call the doctor, whatever like that. Now I'm in there for 4 days. The doctor's not telling me nothing for 4 days. As soon as I say that I'm leaving, the doctor walks in the room and tells me, oh, we want to keep you because we think you have lupus. I ain't got no goddamn lupus. I don't have no, this is 2011. To this day, I've never had a symptom. I don't got no goddamn lupus. No, you want to keep me in the hospital because you're going to pump some shit into me to give me symptoms to make it seem like I got lupus to put me on medicine. I ain't stupid. So now I'm leaving. You better go get them papers, and you better go quick before people start flying out this room. Like, you're just going to see bodies flying out the room. You got 15 minutes to go get my papers and sign me the F out. And if you don't sign me out, I'm leaving. And if security come up here, they're going to go flying too. Straight up. So the point of me telling you that story is this. These hospitals, when you go into these hospitals, a lot of times these doctors are experimenting on you, and they want to experiment with drugs on you. I am a witness to that. That shit happened to me. I don't have lupus at all. But the doctor said, you might have, we think you have, so we want to keep you, and we want to prescribe some medicine because you was going to give me whatever you was going to give me symptoms to make it seem like I had it, so you could prescribe some medicine for me. Them devils tried to kill me. Straight up and down. So I signed myself out the hospital. So when you're hearing people say that people are being admitted into the hospital with one symptom and coming out with something else or being diagnosed with something else, that's real. That was happening way before Corona, especially to our people. Way before Corona. Way before. All right? So that's real stuff. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I don't give a damn what the conscious community says or nothing. That is real stuff. I experienced that myself. Okay, fast forward into 2013. Guess what? What did our parents say when we were young? A hard head makes a what? It makes a soft ass. I went right back, you know what I'm saying? I got myself healthy, did what I was supposed to do, got comfortable, and went right back to my BS again. Knowing better, right? Went right back to my BS again. Had another major asthma attack again. This is 2013, right? But this one was the mother of all asthma attacks. I got sick bad. Went to the hospital. Gave me a triage again. So I'm sitting there saying to myself, like, yo, you just keep doing this. Like, what's wrong? Talking to myself. You keep doing this shit. All right. They gave me a triage and they sent me home. But I knew I wasn't feeling better after that triage. I was like, no, y'all need to admit me. They was like, no, we're not admitting you. Go home. I went home and I was feeling like hell. All right. And my rib at the time, my wife, she was like, no. I don't want you going to no more hospitals in New York City. I want you to go to the hospital in Long Island. So she came and got me and took me to the hospital in Long Island. When I got to the hospital in Long Island, they told me had I come 1 day later, I would have been dead. That's what they told me. Because not only did I have asthma, but why my symptoms wasn't getting better because I had pneumonia and the flu and was having an asthma attack. Can you imagine all three? Can you imagine all three at one time? That's what was happening to me. It was so bad that when they were trying to draw blood in the hospital, the blood was too thick to come out into the needle. It couldn't even, I've never saw that in my life. They were trying to draw blood from the vein. They couldn't draw blood from the vein. So they had to go in and draw blood from the arteries to get it out. It was that bad in 2013. So what is the moral of the story that I'm trying to tell you, brothers and sisters, right? On this channel, and as I lay in the hospital, the whole camp comes, everybody's around my bed, my son, my wife, everybody in the camp is around me looking all sad like I'm about to check out. And the only thing I can tell people is like, y'all better not put this on the internet. I know that. You know what I'm saying? Because I did it to myself. And I told them, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. The same way I put myself in this position, Most High's kicking my ass. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to come out of it. And I did. All praise to the Most High and His Son, right? So ever since then, like I haven't really lapsed back into that whole thing that I was doing because I learned my lesson. Most High got my attention twice. The first time, they tried to diagnose me with something I didn't have. The second time, I just let myself go. Brothers and sisters, we are not in a time right now where you need to be neglecting your health. I know y'all get sick and tired of me talking about this. I know you get sick and tired of Sister Malika talking about this on this channel. I know y'all get tired of it, but you cannot get tired of it because as this thing goes on, you're going to need this information, right? The Most High has to protect us. The Most High has to guide us, but the Most High says that there's medicines that come from the ground for the service of man. The Most High made these herbs and everything for us to be able to heal ourselves, and you only go to the physician as the last resort when you can't help yourself. And a lot of times the things that we have, we can help ourselves. A lot of the times the things that we have, we know what we did every time. I'm not going to say every time. 9 out of 10 times when I'm feeling sick, I did it. I already know. I already know. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, brothers and sisters. You must understand that. The way it works is that when y'all come to us about the herbs and everything, we give y'all the information, right? If we don't know how to do it, we tell you, okay, we're going to talk to Patrick, and we talk to Patrick. If Patrick don't have an answer, those of y'all that know, we tell you, go to the hospital, go to the doctor, because not everything can be treated with herbs. And sometimes your ailment, whatever you're suffering from, is so far gone because you let it go for so long. The herbs react really slowly. It's not going to help you right away. You kind of got to go in and get some conventional medicine to get better, and then you come back to the herbs. But while you're in there, you got to make a decision in your mind that you're going to do what you're supposed to do. Brothers and sisters, I can't stress it enough, and we're going to continue to talk about this every time that we go live, brothers and sisters. We're going to talk about this. It's very, very, very important. And I'm gonna end with this, and I'm gonna start going into some of these tabs. I've been sitting down and doing pulse checks with everybody that's in the camp, and we've been going hard on brothers about everything, because now is not the time to be sloppy, to be neglectful of your health, your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health, everything. Now is not the time for us to be like that. With that being said, I'm not going to lecture y'all to death right now. We're going to continue and get to some of these tabs that I have open and get to some different things, and then I might circle back here at the end of the broadcast. Once again, I see brothers and sisters coming in. Please, as you come and hit the like button, that brings more people in. And once again, shout out to everybody in the Healthy Hebrews group that's watching on Facebook. All right, so let's go ahead and share the screen. Let's get to this first tab that we have here. All right. All right, so here we go. People talk about conspiracy theories, right, brothers and sisters? You hear that word floating around. Used to come from white folks, but now black people call other black people that question things conspiracy theorists. And I'm not talking mainly about the so-called fake woke conscious community, all these Kemetic West African, a lot of these, it's them niggas. It's them. Because they love their daddy, the so-called white man. They love their government. All right. You know what I'm saying? They want this kingdom to continue. They want to continue to be at the bottom. So when we call things into question with sources, like ain't nobody, listen, I can honestly say I don't come on this channel and bring y'all no conspiracy theories. If anything, if I say something, I show you where I got it and allow you to think for yourself. Even when it comes down to the vaccines, I already told y'all, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna present the information. You got to make the decision of what you're gonna do. That's on you. So we don't come with no damn conspiracy theories and nothing. That's nonsense. And by the way, a lot of things that are called conspiracy theories are actually true. Operation Mockingbird was called a conspiracy theory. It's true. Operation Paperclip was called a conspiracy theory. It turned out to be true. Tuskegee experiment was called a conspiracy theory. It turned out to be true. COINTELPRO was called a conspiracy theory. It turned out to be true. Operation Northwoods was called a conspiracy theory. It turned out to be true. How do we know these things turned out to be true? Through the Freedom of Information Act. When certain documents cleared after a certain amount of time, they become public record, right? Certain things are classified by the FBI, the CIA for a certain amount of years. And after a certain amount of years, certain documents become declassified through what is known as the Freedom of Information Act. And when you come a hold of some things in the Freedom of Information Act, you find out a lot of things that you were told was a conspiracy were not. Soon, I forgot what year, somebody could put it in the chat. There are certain things that the FBI observed with Martin Luther King that's going to be coming public domain in the next couple of years. I don't remember what year it's coming out, but it's coming in a couple of years. And what people are saying is that when these documents and everything come out, we're going to have to re-examine Martin Luther King completely, what type of person he really was. Right now, he's damn near a saint, especially amongst you Christians. He's damn near a saint. But from what they're saying, if it's true, and we haven't seen the documents yet, but if it's true, from what they're saying, we're going to have to reevaluate just what type of dude that dude really was, because according to their records, they observed this dude doing a lot of stuff. Anyway, so the first article I want to go over with you, brothers and sisters, really quickly is this one right here, right? This is from 2018. And have you noticed that Bill Gates, anywhere there's some mischief, Bill Gates' name is there. Anywhere there's some mischief or some evil, Bill Gates is investing in these things. Have y'all ever noticed that? I'm sure y'all have, right? So here's the article from 2018, June 15th. Lab-grown meat backed by Gates. Tyson Food faces U.S. oversight. Let's just go down. We ain't got to read the whole article. Let's just read a little bit, right? It says lab-grown meat startups that rely on animal cells to produce beef. So they're not producing beef from growing cattle from a baby all the way up to, you know, an adult, the natural way, the normal way, right? Where the cows reproduce and have children, everything like that. They're kind of skipping around and they're taking cells from animals to produce beef, some of which is on your shelves right now. Poultry and seafood products have caught the eye of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, which began the process of regulating the industry. Cultured meats, considered an environmentally sound alternative to the real thing. So y'all see that word cultured meats? That's fake meat. It's considered an environmentally sound alternative to the real thing. So they call themselves protecting the environment by making fake meat so that they can protect the environment. Companies like, excuse me, is made by harvesting cells from animals and growing them to make food. Companies like Memphis Meats Incorporated, keep that name in mind, Memphis Meat Incorporated, and Future Meat Technologies have piqued the interest of investors such as food giants like Tyson Food Inc. and Cargill, as well as billionaires Bill Gates and Richard Branson. All right, that's all we need. You brothers and sisters can go and look this up for yourself. So Bill Gates is investing in fake lab-grown meat. Now, what effect do you brothers and sisters think this fake lab-grown meat has on the body? You should know that it's going to be acidic. You should know in the long run it's going to be harmful to your body. And yet and still that we're being told that as we put all these harmful foods and chemicals into our bodies with all these preservatives and different things and dyes and all these different things we're putting in our body, all we're getting from the mainstream media is that we should wash our hands for 20 seconds. This is what we're getting.
And everybody, wash your hands.
That's all we're being told. This is the alternative. That's what we're being told. That's it. No one is teaching you. Bill Gates is not teaching you or investing in things that could teach people, especially so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American people, how to be more healthy, to live a healthier quality of life. It is in our communities that you find on every other corner a Chinese food store who don't like you. It is in our community that every other block you're on, you see Mama's Fried Chicken. It is in our community that every other block you see a liquor store. You see an Arab store, bodega, or whatever have you. This is in our communities. And our people support those restaurants A, because they're sleeping, but B, more importantly, and I always try to have a balanced perspective, B, the reason why our people support those industries is because that food is cheap. Let us not forget, a lot of our people in the ghetto are on a fixed income. We have to keep that in mind, brothers and sisters, sometimes when we're judging our people. A lot of our people in the ghettos are on a fixed income. If you could buy some chicken fried rice and 5 chicken wings for $3.50, and you want a fixed income, that's what you're going to do. A, because you wasn't taught better, and B, because you're on a fixed income. So rather than somebody like that take some money and invest in the community, if he really, because you got these, I'm just going, listen, man, you got the fake woke conscious community that's actually supporting Bill Gates. If Bill Gates really cared about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, he would take some of his billions of dollars and invest in healthy alternatives, open up some healthy alternative stores in the inner cities where people can have some choices for those same low prices. How about doing that? But he doesn't do that because he doesn't give a damn about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that's what we have to understand. It ain't no conspiracy. Anywhere where you can see where something can be harmful to our people, you're going to see Bill Gates' name there. That's what it is. And we don't give a damn who don't like it. All right? So with that being said, let's move on to the next story, right? As a matter of fact, no, I'm going to come back to that. Let's move on to, let's see. This story right here. Now, this is what I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, right? When you read the book of Matthew 24, the 24th chapter, we're all familiar with it. The scriptures say, let me stop sharing my screen just for a moment. I'm going to come right back. Just give me a second. When you read the 24th chapter of Matthew, the scriptures say that there's going to be pestilences, does it not? Of course it does. Right? One second. Yeah, the scripture said there's going to be pestilences, which are diseases, and we're seeing those pestilences now. But there's something else that's in that chapter that's also very important that's not hardly spoken about. In the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, the Bible says there are going to be famines. What are famines? Famines are shortages of food. Now, the mainstream media is not showing you, and I'm not bringing you, brothers and sisters, this stuff to scare you. I'm not using fear tactics, but we have to be real about certain things. When we come out of this whole corona pandemic, we're stepping into a whole different world, into a whole different area of uncharted territory. And it's very, very important that we be prepared for what we're just worried about what's going to happen when large crowds gather. Is everybody going to catch the corona? That's just one of many issues that brothers and sisters are going to be facing when this is over, right? Because this is not the pandemic of all pandemics. The Lord has far worse coming to this place. But the pandemic or the pestilence is what we talk about. But there's also famines going on. It just hasn't reached you quite yet, but it's already going on. I'm going to show y'all. Let me go ahead and share my screen. First of all, let's start off real quick. 1 second, let me share my screen. This is something that we don't really when brothers and sisters, when you see, let me just hide this and give me 1 second. Boom. When you see brothers and sisters reading the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, they always start at the last 2 verses, right? And further, by these my sons be admonished, to make it of many books there is no end, and must study his weirdness of the flesh. Let us hear the conclusion of the matter. Fear the Lord, keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. These are the verses everybody focuses on, right? But there's some stuff up ahead, up top that we're dealing with right now. Let's go up top a little bit. It says, Ecclesiastes 12, and I want to, verse 1, it says, remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. We're in those evil days now. We're in there now. Nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Watch this. Verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease, because they are few. That's what I want. The grinders shall cease because they are few. What does grinding represent? Grinding represents industry, jobs. The Bible says in that day, in that evil day, the grinders are going to cease. There's going to be less jobs. there's going to be less industries, which is going to lead to famines. That's in the Bible. And that's something that we're not really talking about, but we need to talk about because it's coming. If you're in this truth and you believe in this Bible, then you know it is coming. Now, two quick stories. This is from ABC News. This was posted April 8th, 2020. Coronavirus claims an unexpected victim, Florida vegetables. Thousands of acres of fruits and vegetables grown in Florida are being plowed over or left to rot because farmers can't sell them to restaurants, theme parks, or schools nationwide because they are closed for the coronavirus. So what is happening, brothers and sisters, is a lot of the vegetation is rotting. So what's going to happen to a lot of these farmers? A lot of these farmers are going out of business. So it hasn't really reached you just yet, but you can see the buildup, right? Now, this is what I want to tell y'all. If you've been paying attention over the last decade or so, you know that the federal government has been shitting on black farmers, right? Black farmers are not really receiving support. And a lot of black farmers were suffering and many going out of business. We know that. A lot of these farmers that are going out of business now, these are so-called white people. Nevertheless, it's still going to touch you because they're the ones that's sending these crops and everything to your supermarkets and your restaurants, et cetera, et cetera. If they can't afford to stay into business, that could lead to famines. No food. All right? I'm not prophesying that's what's going to happen, but the Bible says famines is coming. I'm not saying that this is the way, but there's definitely a shortage of stuff already. You just haven't really felt the pinch just yet. You going into y'all supermarkets, y'all seeing the shelves emptier than you've ever seen them before. So now you have an inkling something is coming. And unlike the world, the Most High sent the watchmen to tell y'all, this is coming. This is what we've been telling y'all for years. Now you're seeing it, but we're not fully into it yet, which goes back to something we've been talking about on this channel for the last 2 or 3 months, preparation. Faith in the Most High comes first because you can't prepare enough for the long term because this is going to be long term. But nevertheless, you can prepare for the short term so that if and when there's riots in the street because of a lack of food or bread, whatever like that, you don't have to go outside because you're prepared. Because the majority of our people, they're not prepared. They don't notice it's coming because they don't believe in the word of God. And the people that they look up to, like the fake woke conscious community, isn't warning them the way we're warning them. So they're going to get caught out there. Anyway, I don't want to deviate. Let's go. Palmetto, Florida, mounds of harvested zucchini and yellow squash ripened and then rotted in the hot Florida sun. Juicy tomatoes were left to wither unpicked in farmers' fields. Thousands of acres of fruits and vegetables grown in Florida are being plowed over or left to rot because farmers can't sell to restaurants, theme parks, schools nationwide that have the coronavirus. And by the way, let me just deviate for those of y'all that didn't hear, Disney said they're not opening for the rest of this calendar year. Brothers and sisters, the majority of Disney is what you call the hospitality industry. There's a lot of things involved with the hospitality. Disney has hotels on the property. They have restaurants on the property, ticket salesmen, concession booths, the people that operate the rides, you name it. And a lot of that is our people. You're talking about tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people between Disney, Florida and Disney, California, all of whom ain't going back to work this year. So that's one amusement park, one franchise that's not going back this year. So these farmers don't have no place to sell it. We don't know what's going to happen with the Six Flags franchise or the rest of the franchises across the country. We don't know. Other states are having the same issue. Agriculture officials say leafy greens in California are being hit especially hard, and dairy farmers in Vermont and Wisconsin are saying that they have to dump a surplus of milk intended for restaurants. With most of its harvest in the winter months, the problem is acute in Florida. For example, a few dozen people clamored to buy 25 pounds 11-kilogram boxes of Roma tomatoes direct from a packing plant over the weekend in Palmetto, a city on the western coast. The cost per box just $5. That's not normally the price, but they had to lower the price just to get rid of it. This is a catastrophe, said tomato grower Tom DeMare, who owns farms in South Florida and Tampa Bay area. We haven't even started to calculate it yet. It's going to be millions of dollars losses mount every day. So they haven't even begun to calculate how bad this is going to be. Do you know why? Because all the media is focusing on is social distancing. Wash your hands. You got to wear a mask and the gloves if you want to go in the store. And we're being bombarded with that image and that message over and over again, 24 hours a day, 365 a day. It's all everybody's concerned about. Well, you might have the corona. You have to wear a mask, et cetera, et cetera. Is it airborne? Is it not airborne? Can you catch it through your feet? Can you catch it through your hands? That's all we're worried about. And when we wake up from corona, we're going to realize this economy is decimated. Industries decimated. Many stores and chains are not coming back. And a lot of our people work in this industry. So we have to prepare. And that's what we've been talking about. Now I'm doing it with my camp already on a low level, right? But also come to you, brothers and sisters, especially you individualites that don't have and like to be by yourself. You need to have a plan, man. You need to have a plan and a vision. How are you going to get out of this thing? What you going to do when you leave this thing? One of the questions, because like I said, real quick, I'm deviating. I'm gonna go back to the ad in a minute, but I got time today. When we're sitting down individual by individual with every brother in the camp, the elders, this is what we're doing. And we're asking questions and we don't care. We're not getting all personal, like what's going on in your bedroom questions, but we're asking pretty much everything else. And one of the questions that I've been asking brothers and especially sisters, are you depending, especially the brothers and sisters that have been laid off? Let me stress that, because there's a lot of brothers and sisters that have been laid off in my camp and even outside my camp. When this is over, are you just going to go back to life as it was? Is that what you're looking for? You're hoping the coronavirus is over so you can go find another job, right? 22 million people got laid off last month. 22 million. If you are quarantined, if you're staying at home, you should be picking up a trade. You should not be coming out of this coronavirus pandemic being quarantined, et cetera, the same as you were. I'm going to give you an example. I was talking to my son, right? And my son was telling me how his barber is killing it. Do you know why? Because Negroes like to look good. So even though there's a quarantine, this dude is going to people's houses to cut their hair. Yeah, his barbershop is closed, but there's still a demand for what he does. So he's going to people's houses to cut hair and charging double and sometimes even triple the price just to come. So he's doing, because he's being innovative. Somebody that's a hustler is always going to find a way to make money regardless. I had a plumbing issue recently. I had to get a plumber to come here. This is quarantine. Not a plumbing, electrical issue here. This is a quarantine. The electricians are still working. If you are a plumber, an electrician, what else? Automotive. What else? There's a few. If you're in those fields are recession proof. Somebody's still going to have a problem with their pipes. If you are into pest control, somebody's still going to have a problem with pests, rodents in their house, whatever like that. Plumbing, et cetera, et cetera. If you're in certain fields, you're going to always be in demand. So if there's a pandemic, and you have a certification to be a plumber, you still got everybody gonna know that, okay, Johnny over there's a plumber, I'm gonna call him. And you're still gonna be needed, right? So what I'm saying to brothers and sisters is you gotta kind of think differently than what you're thinking. You gotta think differently than what you're thinking. You should be able to do more than one thing. You should be able to diversify. Sisters, if you don't know how to sew and you quarantine, watch some videos on YouTube and learn how to sew and buy a sewing machine. There's always brothers that need fringes sewn on, always. Always. They got tutorials on how to make hand sanitizer. There is a shortage of hand sanitizer in the store. You can make natural hand sanitizers. I don't give a damn what it is. I'm saying do something. Don't come out this pandemic the same as you went in, not having a skill. Maybe you need to sit down and think of what it is you want to do. But do it. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because you don't know what the job situation on the other side of this is going to be. You don't know. You're just waiting to go back to work at your other job. What if they don't need you? This is the time. And when I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself, because I just said yesterday, I picked up a skill since we've been quarantined. Even though I haven't been quarantined, I still been having to go to work, but I picked up a skill because I don't want to be a hypocrite. But even what I picked up is not enough. I feel like I need to pick up something else, because I don't know if next week they're going to lay me off my job either. I don't know. Anyway, I got sidetracked, but I feel like I need to say that because I'm telling brothers and sisters this in my camp, and I'm asking the hard questions. And when brothers are telling me, well, what you gonna do? Just wait for unemployment, and what you gonna do when the pandemic is over? You gonna try to apply back for your job? Yeah, that's not. And I'm looking at them like that's not enough. See, I can't talk to y'all the way I talk to them. But if you brothers that indicate, they know I can't talk to y'all the way I talk to them. But I don't accept that. You cannot come out of this the same as you went in. We don't accept that. Start a business. Take a couple of dollars out of your stimulus check and start a business. You have a place to advertise your business on Facebook. I administrate 5 groups on Facebook. I'm an administrator. I will clear your business to advertise in our group where there's thousands of people. I will promote your business. I'll come on my live and promote it. Whatever I got to do. But you should have something to fall back on just in case. See, I'm gonna stop preaching to y'all, but I'm serious about this for people that's close to me. I'm serious about it. I'm serious about it. Anyway, let's continue. Next paragraph. Florida leads the U.S. in harvesting tomatoes, green beans, cabbage, peppers this time of year. While some crops aren't meant for grocery stores, many farmers cater solely to the so-called food service market, restaurants, schools, theme parks. Hit hard as cities and states have ordered people to stay home and avoid others. So a lot of farmers, their revenue comes from the food service market. All right, so enough of that. Enough of that. Let's watch this video. Is this it? Yeah. Now, this is a YouTuber by the name of, he calls himself Ice Age Farmer. And I want to shout out, I got to give credit where credit is due. I didn't run across this video. Brother Yawanathan from Pittsburgh ran across this video, and I saw him share it on Facebook, and I watched it, and I said, I got to share this with the family. So I want to give credit where credit is due. Okay. Let's watch this video, because now we spoke about it. Let's look visually and let's see what's going on. Look.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a brief update tonight to make sure that we really appreciate the full gravity of the shutdown, the wholesale demise of modern agriculture that is happening right before our very eyes right now. We're talk about the meat packers and the fact that onions are rotting by the millions.
So, brothers and sisters, you just saw the article. Now you can see visually what the article was talking about. Y'all see that? As far as the eye can see, those are onions, and that farmer has no place to sell it, so they're just sitting there and rotting. If that continues, it's going to mount into millions and millions of dollars of losses. A lot of the farms are going to have to close, and that could lead to food shortages. And by the way, I went over this before, and I will go over it in the future. There are executive orders. This is not conspiracy. There are executive orders in place that was signed during the, I believe it was the Clinton administration, that speak about anti-hoarding. If there's any type of emergency situation, the federal government can take over the food supply, and then you'll have to go to them to get food in case of an emergency. And you, brothers and sisters, whether you accept it or not, are being conditioned to wait online to get into Walmart, these other supermarkets. You are being conditioned already.
Fields right now. And then finally, the fact that dairies, not only are they dumping their milk, as I covered in my previous report, but there are actually co-ops that are financially incentivizing farmers to quit dairy farming. They want you out of the game. They want to shut down producers. This is where we are now. And I want to make this abundantly clear. I'm Christian, and this is the Ice Age Farmer channel. And I want to start off with the video that was posted today by Shay Myers.
Hey guys, so what you're looking at behind me are the ramifications of COVID-19. Millions upon millions upon millions of pounds And this is one pile of mix throughout this valley that has, more than 1 million pounds in it. We can't donate it. A lot of people ask me, well, why don't you donate? Why don't you go to the food banks? Well, the food banks are mostly full, number one. Number two, even if they weren't full, they don't need more onions. This isn't about not having enough food for you in the grocery store. This is about not having enough food for you in the restaurant. When you're not eating there, you don't need it there. The way I've been describing it to a lot of people that aren't as accustomed to the normal supply chain is that imagine a freeway that's connecting the farm to the city, okay? And that freeway has this massive bridge that goes over a massive river, and that bridge gets knocked out.
Hold on 1 second, family. 1 second. Sorry. I want to make sure y'all can hear it. Put one in the chat. Let me know y'all able to hear. Put one in the chat. Let me know that y'all able to hear. What's up, Mika? I see you. Put one in the chat. Let me know y'all were able to hear the video. All right. Now I'm going to go back to it. Okay, good. Yeah, it's going to have an echo, but that's all right. I can't really help that. Can't really help that, family. That's okay. All right, let's come back to it. Let's go.
If that bridge is knocked out, you can't rebuild immediately. Now, are there other routes to get there? Yeah, but it takes longer. And if it takes longer, that means the normal product that's in that supply chain cannot make it. And that's what we're seeing today. Normal shipments in the United States, loads of onions. Normal U.S. consumption is 350 loads a day. We saw sub 200 shipments, 200 loads per day, every single day last week.
So remember the Bible, because we're Bible people, right? Remember the Bible. That's Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says the grinders would cease because they are few. It's prophecy. It's prophecy. We're living in prophecy. Keep that in mind. Let's go.
And the most recent number that I've seen is 127. 1/3 of the normal U.S. consumption of onions is being shipped. That's the shift in the supply chain. That's why you're seeing milk being dumped, tomatoes being dumped, squash in Florida being dumped, flowers being ruined and wasted. Everything has this normal supply chain, this normal route, this normal freeway, and those bridges are out. And that is a ramification.
And so again, Shay puts it quite well as one of the largest onion growers in the nation, that the bridge is out. There's no way to get products to market. This is the same thing we've heard from the beef, from ranchers, and it's the same thing we're hearing from dairy farmers who've been asked to step down their production and to dump milk in many cases. I did talk about this in a previous video, but what I wanted to highlight today was this particular dairy co-op, Ellsworth in Wisconsin, sent out a letter indicating, like many others, that because of the drop in value of milk and the fact that restaurants and schools, cafeterias, aren't purchasing, all of those things are true. A lot of people have just been dismissing this as a temporary dislocation, a bad allocation, but it's more than that. And this letter proves that. We read down here that the board of directors has approved a program to encourage members to quit dairy farming by paying out the equity in the program. They must sell off their cows to someone outside of the co-op by April 15th. In other words, you have 1 week to exit this industry, to stop being a producer, to retire, and get rid of your cows altogether.
So I hope y'all heard what he said. I'm just going to kind of reiterate what he said. The way that they're doing it is that they're giving these farmers 7 days to make up their mind to sell their farm. Now, you might have had a farm that was in your family for 3 or 4 generations. And because of COVID-19 now, you have no place to sell your wares. They're coming to them, saying to them, listen, you got 7 days, sell your farm. And you're not selling it for the equity in the farm, like how much it's really worth. They're giving you a price and saying, take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. So, and some farmers are actually taking that. So the point I'm trying to show you, brothers and sisters, is that these are things. Let me see. There was something else in here I wanted to, you know what? I'll leave it. Let me stop sharing my screen. So the point I'm trying to show you, brothers and sisters, is that there is a blackout in the media on this particular information. Like they're not telling you this stuff. They're not telling you this stuff, right? They just got you focused on one thing when it comes to this COVID-19 thing, not realizing that there are a bunch of residual peripheral effects that are going to be long term that's going to affect people because of this so-called COVID-19. I saw an article, now it wasn't domestic, but I saw an article, I believe it was in the New York Times, where they spoke about how domestic violence cases have gone up since COVID-19 because people are being sheltered into place with each other. But it wasn't in this country. But I know I've been seeing news stories of some dude went crazy and shot his son and his son's mother or something because they were sheltered in place and they weren't getting along. It's crazy. 1876, Benjamin Israel, shalom to you. So these are some of the things that's going on. So I said, I kind of wanted to bring this information to you, brothers and sisters, only because the mainstream media is not really talking about this stuff. And I want you, brothers and sisters, to be prepared for what may be on the other side of this thing, so you can have a better idea of how you're going to maneuver in this new world. That's one of the reasons why we've been telling you about preparation. Like, we're not saying, when we tell you to prepare and have a certain amount of provisions in your house, that's not a sign of having a lack of faith. Don't let anybody ever tell you that. It's not a sign of having a lack of faith. When you are preparing and you have provisions in your house, what you're doing is you're saying that in case of an emergency, whether it be a natural disaster, or any type of unrest in the streets, right? You don't have to go outside and be amongst the chaos and get involved in that, because you have prepared yourself for what's coming. You understand? For a certain amount of time. And maybe there may be a pocket of where things are not so crazy, and then you can leave the house, but you don't have to go out the house in the midst of the chaos. That's why I'm trying to tell brothers and sisters, try to have about 2 weeks of provisions in your house for yourself in case you got to stay in the house for 2 weeks if something go down. They're talking about a whole another wave of corona coming in the winter. And believe me, that's not a projection, that's a threat. Take it how you want to take it. That is a threat. They're letting you know what's coming, right? So you kind of want to be prepared for that. Physically, spiritually, mentally, all that. Right, Tony White said it best, your faith has to have works. We have faith in the Most High and believe in the Bible and believe in the prophecies, right? So we know what's coming, so we prepared. Remember, the apostles had set up for lack of a better word, let's use a modern term. The apostles set up like what was called a pantry, and they distributed to the people, right? And I've been encouraging camps, not just my camp, but other camps, leaders that I've been speaking to, communing to, make sure that you have a pantry for your people. But now I'm gonna flip it back. I'm gonna do the remix, right? Just because the camp has a pantry doesn't mean that 1 or 2 families should empty the pantry because you didn't prepare, because you didn't listen. And believe me, as much as I'm talking to you, I got people in my own camp that did not listen and then got caught out there. You by yourself should not have to empty the pantry because you didn't listen when we were talking to you. So we've been checking with brothers. Yo, you got this, you have that in the house, because that's for emergencies. For an emergency. Not for you to live off that because you didn't go out and get a couple things and have it in your house and do what you were supposed to do. But I've been encouraging camps and camp leaders to try to have these things set up. And I've been telling brothers in the camp, only go there if you really need to go. Do other things. Try to set up a business or something like that so you can have some money coming in. So you're only going there as a last resort. Right? That's the point. For you brothers and sisters that's by yourself, you're the only one in this truth. You have no family that's in this truth. You're also not a part of a body or a congregation. The best advice I can give you is what I just said. Try to have provisions in your house. And you got to be able to trust somebody. You have to be able to trust somebody for you and that person, whether y'all have to be in the camp for somebody else. Like, you know what? Our 2 families are going to come together if something goes wrong. We don't mess with these camps. You know, y'all Israelites, I love to talk about camps. All the camps are wicked. Well, I'm in a camp and we're not wicked. But nevertheless, y'all throw us under the bus too. No problem. We're under the bus too, whatever. I'm still going to give you love and advice anyway, right? Find somebody you trust, another family, whatever that you trust, and y'all come together and y'all set something up. That way you ain't got to be a part of the wicked camps. right? But you got something in place. That's the point. Because we're in that time right now. All right. All praises to the Most High. Royal Prince, you respect me, you love you, respect what I do. I appreciate you too, bro. Tell these people to hit the damn like button and stop playing with me, man. I don't have enough. I don't have enough likes. I want more people in the building. All right. You brothers and sisters see the phone number. I think I did well this week, man. Everybody that called the 800 number, I got back to you, except for one brother. I texted him yesterday. I'm gonna call him as soon as this is over. Except for one brother, but I did pretty well this week. I think I got back to y'all. By the way, man, like I said, y'all see me drinking all types of stuff. So I was drinking a tea, right? Don't know what was in it. Now I'm about to drink this respiratory formula. Let me show y'all this, right? It's a respiratory formula. Respiratory immune support. Y'all see that? This thing is nasty. Real quick, let me just show y'all. Somebody be like, where'd you get it from? And what's in it? Well, I'm gonna show you. I'm going to show you. Let's see what we have here. There it is. All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen so y'all can see. All right. So the website is called Grassroot Botanical, right? And what I just showed you, brothers and sisters, was the respiratory and immune support system that I'm drinking. So I have the mouse on top of it so I can enhance a little bit so y'all can see it. When you read the label, it says that the respiratory and immune support system eliminates mucus and inflammation, boosts or strengthens the immune system, improves blood circulation, strengthens the respiratory system, and it also improves the respiratory condition. And these things are all important, especially in the age of the coronavirus. Here's the deal, and I got to keep saying this because there is something that's called a what's that logical fallacy? It's called a straw man argument. Matter of fact, let's look that up and see what is a straw man argument, because this is what the fake woke conscious community is doing. What is a straw man argument? Straw man fallacy. Let's see what that is. A straw man or straw man is a form of argument and informal fallacy based on giving the impression of refuting an opponent's argument while actually refuting an argument that was what? Not presented by the opponent. That's what a straw man is. So you have the straw man fallacy in the conscious community where they're saying that the guys that are healers, the guys that deal with the natural, the herbalists, so forth and so on, the guys that are healers, they're saying that the healers are teaching that the herbs cure you from coronavirus. That is not what the healers are teaching. That is a straw man. That's a straw man. And they present that and stupid people fall for it. That's not what the healers are teaching. That's called a straw man argument. That is not what the healers are teaching. What we are saying is when you boost your immune system, when you strengthen your respiratory system, if you happen to contract corona or the flu or any other respiratory ailment, your body will be functioning more optimally to be able to fight that thing off. If you constantly boost and strengthen your immune system, and every time you walk out the house and breathe in them chemtrails, every time you introduce certain foods and everything to your diet, your immune system becomes compromised. That's what's happening. So once you know that, you introduce things into your system to build it back up, to strengthen it. What the hell is wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? So the conscious community is giving a straw man argument saying that we're teaching that you can, if you take herbs, you can cure the coronavirus. No, but if you take herbs and boost your immune system, should you contract it, you'll be able to fight it off better. A lot of people, and the medical experts have said this themselves, A lot of people that are dying from COVID-19 had compromised immune systems to begin with. A lot of people that are dying from COVID-19 have pre-existing conditions to begin with. We all know this. So it doesn't take a video with rappers talking about washing your hands. That ain't going to do nothing. Our people have to be taught from like a baby. Like the Bible says, you got to be taught the milk, the sincere milk of the scriptures, and build yourself up. It's the same thing with health. Our people have to be taught as babies, get the sincere milk of what it means to eat, how to eat. Like Elijah Muhammad said, although I don't agree with everything in that book, like he said, how to eat to live, right? Our people have to be taught that, because in school we were taught about the food pyramid and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You have meat every meal. Breakfast, you have a sausage. Lunch, you have a sandwich with some chicken or some bologna, whatever. And dinner, you have steak, right? For breakfast, you have toast, right? Some other type of carb, whatever, you know, oatmeal, grits, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You have that. Then for lunch, you have a sandwich with all that daggone bread. And then for dinner, you have rice or potato. That's starch and meat every meal. Plus, you could have dairy in there and all this other stuff, but you're not taught how to eat. There's a whole science to eating, brothers and sisters. There's a science to what time of day you should eat. There's a science to what time of day you should stop eating. Certain organs and certain systems in your body shut down at a certain time of day. I don't know if you brothers and sisters know that. You need to not eat by a certain time of night, so when you go to bed, your body is not working all night digesting the food. Then you wake up in the morning wondering, yo, I just slept for 7 hours. Why am I still sleepy? Because your digestive system was working all night while you were sleeping. And so because of that, that's why you wake up in the morning and you feel tired. Yeah, you slept, but your body didn't rest. So that introduces fasting. It's another thing. Now, all praise to the Most High. I had already gotten on a fast like about a month ago, a little over a month ago. I got on a fast before Israel did their whole national fast. I've been on a fast every Sabbath for personal reasons. Also to allow my body to heal and rest, because I see certain things within myself that I need to improve. So every Sabbath, I've been fasting for the last month plus. And if to be the Most High's will, some weeks I'm going to do 2 days. Because even fasting allows your body to rest. Some of us don't fast until the Day of Atonement. That's the only fast we do, because it's mandatory. Outside of that, we don't allow our organs to rest. So a lot of things that we need to be retaught. And some of these things are the things that we come on this channel and we speak about. But it is a straw man argument for anybody to tell you that any of us teach that if you take herbs can cure the coronavirus. That is, I'm gonna hit you with something. A vaccine can't cure the coronavirus either. What is the purpose of a vaccine? Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at that real quick. Let's look that up. Right here. So it says right here, a vaccine or immunization is the way to do what? Build your body's natural immunity. So for all you fake woke conscious Negroes that's waving your pom-poms talking about you agree with Bill Gates that we should get a vaccine is not a cure. A vaccine, all it does is it builds your body's natural immunity to a disease. But you can do that naturally too. That's what we're saying. That's what we teach. That's what Patrick Delves teach. So we got to make sure that we understand the difference. So don't let nobody seduce you or fool you. And also, we don't tell people not to go to a physician. I'm talking about a regular physician. We don't tell you that. But there are certain things, as you heard the nurse say in the interview, there's certain things that you don't need to go to the hospital for. You can deal with that yourself. You just have to know how. You have to be open-minded. You have to know how. And you got to turn off some of this ratchet stuff on social media. Open up one of the videos that we have on the Sisters of the Maccabees channel or this channel and learn about herbs and health and everything like that. And try to help yourself if you could. That's all we're saying. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I know sometimes I get on here and y'all be thinking I'll be preaching too much and everything, but that's what I am. I'm a preacher. That's what we do. Y'all all right, man? Is everybody okay? Everybody's good? Everybody good? Put one in the chat if you're good. Let me know y'all good. I've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. Maybe y'all ready for me to get off now. Maybe y'all ready for me to stop. I don't know. Let me know if you're good. If you're good, I'll continue. My man, Divine Prospect in the building. Divine, when you coming on, man? When are you coming on? Let me take a sip of this. I'm gonna tell y'all, this is not yo, I think there's some garlic in here or something, man. I'm gonna tell you what, man. And as soon as you open it, right up your nose, it has a smell to it because there's some garlic in here. But you just gotta hold your nose. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm talking about? Woo. All right. Tiny Tim, shalom to you. Shalom to you. All right. So y'all say y'all good, right? Well, let me see how good y'all are. Hold on a second. Let me see something. Ooh. All right. Let me give y'all a hand. I'm actually doing good on the likes. Wow. I only had to ask y'all 3 times. All praises. If you're in the building and you didn't hit the like yet, hit the like. If you're on Facebook watching the Healthy Hebrews group and you didn't hit the like, damn it, too. Hit the like. All right. Damn, Dwayne, you missed a lot, bro. You missed a lot. My man Dwayne Joseph in the building. Shalom. You missed a lot. All right. So, why don't I change the subject now a little bit? Because I know y'all COVID-19'd out, right? Let's go ahead and let's drop some jewels here. Let me go ahead and set some stuff up here for y'all, right? Let me set some stuff up here for y'all. And while I'm setting this up, I'm just going to talk to you brothers and sisters for a second. There is a bit. Shout out to my man Yabatazar from AOC Chicago. Shout out to my man Yabatazar. He shared a video on social media, which I had already watched. And I don't really suggest you watch it, not because it's anything that's going to confuse you, but it's just horrible. The video is horrible, right? Or maybe you guys should watch it and go like curse them out on the comment board. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you the video. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Let me just come here. All right. There we go. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, just bear with me, y'all. I'm coming. We're gonna go in a second. All right, there we go. Okay, so now let me come and share my screen. Let me just look this up real quick. Yeah, shout out to my brother Yabatazar. So there's a video circulating on YouTube. Some of you brothers and sisters aren't aware of it. It is horrible. I'm actually using it as a teaching tool in the academy. In our academy, the Lions of Israel Academy that we have, I'm actually going to use it as a teaching tool because it's going to allow me to address a lot of arguments that people make against us being the Israelites. Give me 1 second. I'm going to bring everything up. I didn't have these slides set up because I wasn't sure how this live stream was going to go. So I'm setting it up now. Just bear with me 1 secundo. Yeah, here we go. This is this crap right here. Boom. Let me just pause it for a second. And come into my documents. Let's see. Oh, I don't have it in here. All right, doesn't matter. Okay, no problem. I thought I had it. Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to stress that right now. I will show y'all that next time. I don't want to be looking for it right now. I should look for it before I went live. Okay, let's come back to this right here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Right, let me share my screen. Yeah. So Brother Yabatazar was, I guess he must have watched this video. And I'm actually going to use it as a teaching tool in the academy, right? So the name of the video, I'm going to show it to y'all right now. The name of the video is called 100 Proofs the Israelites Were White. 100 Proofs the Israelites Were White.
100 Proofs the Israelites Were White.
Let me tell y'all something, right? This video is horrible. Horrible. I wouldn't suggest you waste your time. It's like an hour and 33 minutes. I wouldn't suggest you waste your time unless you have a real purpose in watching the video. I'm not saying don't, but I only watched it because I wanted to see what their arguments was, because I'm going to use it to teach new Israelites that come into the truth how to defend against arguments white folks use to try to say that the Israelites were white, not black. This video, I mean, some of the arguments they're making are the most illogical, stupid, behind arguments known to man. But I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of jewels today, a couple of jewels. Watch this, right? One of the arguments that they make, and I'm kind of going as we go along. One of the arguments that they make, let's get the book of Songs of Solomon. I believe it's is it Songs of Solomon? Let's see. I believe it's either Songs of Solomon or Ecclesiastes. Let me see. I know I can just type it in. Yes, Lamentations. I was wrong with both books. All right, Lamentations 4 and 7. That's the one we were looking for. Lamentations 4 verse 7. Right? Okay, cool. I want to go on here. So Lamentations 4 verse 7. I'm doing this raw, y'all. I'm just doing this raw. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Okay. Now I want to show y'all something. It didn't bring it up. Okay, no problem. The Bible says the Most High will give us a mouth with wisdom, that all of our enemies would not be able to gainsay nor resist. These dudes spend an hour and 33 minutes, and I'm gonna, in my presentation, we're gonna run through them, right? Now, here is an argument. Some of you brothers and sisters may be familiar with this argument. Some of you may have been not. You're gonna run into a lot of so-called white people, right? This is the verse that they're going to use to prove and say that the Israelites were actually white people. So here it is, Lamentations chapter 4, verse 7. Her Nazarites, and everybody knows that Nazarite was a vow. It was a vow that you took. You took the vow of a Nazarite. So it says, Lamentations 4, verse 7, it says, her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was the polishing of sapphire. So they made the argument in that video, 100 proofs to prove the Israelites were white. This is one of the scriptures that they use. See, it says they are whiter than milk. So the Israelites were actually white people. Let us now deconstruct this argument very, very simply, brothers and sisters. Very, very simply. Watch how easily, through the spirit and power of the Most High, that we look at their argument and we deconstruct it, because the Bible says the Lord will give us a mouth that our enemies will not be able to gainsay or resist. People can't tell me nothing when it comes to this truth, because I know what the hell I'm talking about. And I'm going to help you too. If you don't know how to break this down, you might want to open up the notepad in your phone and write what I'm saying down. You might want to get a piece of paper, because at some point, somebody might come at you with this. And before they finish, you want to finish their sentence and cut the hell out of them. First thing we want to do is we want to look at this word white, right? Now, I'm just going to tell you, brothers and sisters, because I'm not really going to go into it. Like I said, I have a PowerPoint on it, and it's for the academy. So some things I'm going to tell you, and some things I'm going to show you. That word white in the Hebrew, the Hebrew word for white is laban. Laban. That is the Hebrew word for white. Matter of fact, let me just show you. Only because I know some of you don't know. So If you know, then this is just hang on. We'll get to something else maybe that you didn't know. But if you don't know, real quick, let me just show you. Okay, so this is Genesis 24:29, and the word appears many times throughout Genesis. When you look up the word, here's the word for Laban in the Hebrew, right? When you click on it and you go down, Laban means what, brothers and sisters? It means white. Am I sharing my screen? I want to make sure I'm sharing my screen. I am. Okay, cool. So the word Laban in the Hebrew is white. Everybody pay attention. That is the word in the Hebrew for white. Okay, cool. So y'all saw it. Now coming back to Lamentations chapter 4, verse 7, I'm going to tell you that is not the word that's used here in Lamentations 4, verse 7. It is a different word. It was translated into English as white, but when you go and you look at the word in the Hebrew, it's not white at all. That's why it is an important, to a degree, to go into the Hebrew, because I'm trying to tell you, brothers and sisters, and I might just show y'all something else. I'm trying to tell you, brothers and sisters, certain words rendered in the English and English translations of the Bible are not helpful if you don't do deeper research, because it can make people go off. And that's why in the prologue of Sirach, it tells you things uttered from one language to the next sometimes loses their force. This is an example of that. If you don't go and check the Hebrew, you can go off. So now, I said that. Now let me show you. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 7. Okay? And y'all can see it right there at the top of the screen. So let's come down. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. Remember, the Hebrew word for Laban, the Hebrew word for white is Laban. Is that the word that's being used for white here? No. No. It's not. It's not. Because this word means something different than actually the color white. This word right here means purity. I'm going to show you. Let's copy and paste it. Let's open up another window. And I'm just going to paste that Hebrew word into the search. Paste. Boom. Y'all see what the word means right here? When you come to it's the word tsak. When you come here and look, what is the definition of the word? It means to be dazzling. It's talking about beauty. Beauty. Not the color white. Beauty. Beauty. So in the English, the word appears as being white. So if you don't understand what's actually written in the Hebrew, you might think that this is actually saying the Israelites were white, but no. No, the word here in the Hebrew is a different word. It's tazakak. And this word tazakak is not referring to the color white. It's referring to beauty. Because to be a Nazarite, you're going to be pure and you're going to be beautiful. You're pure because you're not going to sin. You take the vow of a Nazarite, you're not going to sin. So this is talking about purity or beauty, not talking about the actual color white. So far, I'm coming back to the chat because I don't want anybody to be lost. Is everybody clear about what I just showed? If you're clear about what I just showed, put 1 in the chat, and I'm going to show y'all something else. Now we're going to take their head off. Now we're going to take their head off. If everybody's clear about what I just showed, please put 1 in the chat. And now I'm going to show you how we cut these devils. Everybody's clear. Good. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Okay. Well, let's come back. Let's come back. All right. So everybody's clear on that. Everybody's clear on that. Now watch how we cut these demons, right? So her Nazarites are purer than snow. That's talking about purity. They are whiter than milk. It's talking about their beauty, not talking about their color. But that's where they stop. That's where they stop. But that's not where we're going to stop. We're going to keep reading because actually this verse is saying the Jews are black, not white. What are you talking about, Daniela? Where does it say that? I don't see that. I'm going to show you. Watch. It says her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk, and their bodies were more ruddy in body than rubies. There it is. This piece right here is actually telling you the Jews, the Nazarites, are black people. It says their body is like rubies. How is that saying that they're black? Oh, let me show you. How many of you brothers and sisters are familiar with what an unprocessed, unpolished ruby looks like? You may have never seen it. Well, I'm going to show you. Look. Y'all see this right here? These are called Burmese ruby nuggets. What color are they? Now, those rubies to the left, all these right here, these are all polished and processed. But the rough Burmese rubies that are not polished, what color are they, brothers and sisters? They're brown. Y'all see that? Unpolished rubies, brownish red. Y'all see that? So rubies come in different colors. Look at these rubies right here. Brown. Some even partially black. Look at that. Look at that. So when you're reading in the scriptures where it says their body was like rubies, unpolished, unprocessed rubies are brown. So now, let's come back to this verse right here. How in the hell are the Israelites going to be white and then have bodies like rubies at the same time and be brown? How's that possible? If your face is white and your body is brown, you are sick. We don't have no herbs for you. I don't have no herbs. We don't have no herbs. I have no suggestions for you. No, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. You heard? So this is the verse that they use to say that the Jews are white, when in actuality, the Bible says their bodies are like rubies. And you can see this is what unpolished rubies look like. These are polished. These are processed here. These are polished and processed, but not these. Y'all see that? Now, there's another word in here. Another word in here, right? There's that word ruddy. Brothers and sisters be tripping on that word ruddy. Let me help y'all out. Let's open up another tab. Let's open up another tab. Let's open up another tab. Come to Google Images. Let's do a simple search because I'm not going to say nothing. I want y'all to see what you see. You tell me what you see. Ruddy animals. That's the search I did. Y'all see the search? Ruddy animals. These are ruddy animals. Ruddy, brown, brown, brown. This is called a ruddy frog, brown. A ruddy mongoose, brown. A ruddy duck, brown. North American ruddy duck, brown. Y'all see that? Do y'all see that? A person being ruddy, he's like a reddish brown complexion, but he's still brown. Y'all see that? So notice verse is not saying that the white man is the Nazarites are white people. It's not. The problem is, and in this video, they never went into the proof. All they did was read the scripture. They saw the word white and they ran with it because they don't study. And the reason why that they did this video, if you watch it, and my condolences if you watch it, because I'm warning you, not it's that bad. When you watch this video, the reason why they did this video is they are directly talking to us in the awakening. Directly. You can hear it. They are trying and grasping at every straw that they could get their hands on because this truth has been doing so much damage to their system, their way of life, their beliefs, everything. We're doing so much damage that they had to come out with the video, and this video is the weakest thing I ever saw. It is ridiculous. Now, really quickly, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to give y'all some more. If y'all want more, y'all might be tired of me now. I don't know. Y'all want some more? If you want more, put one in the chat. I'll give you some more. If you want more, maybe y'all tired now. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. I know. Let me see some. If y'all want some ones, if y'all want more, put ones in the chat while I'm looking for something. I had to stop sharing my screen for a second. I can't give everything away now. I can't give anything away. Let me see. What's this? Let's see. What do I want to share with the brothers and sisters here? Let's see. Nope, not that, not that. Here we go. I'll share this slide with you, brothers and sisters, real quick. Let me see what does my comment board look like? What y'all saying over here? No, Esau was not called ruddy. That's a whole nother lesson. Esau was not called ruddy. And what they've done in the English translation is they've conflated the word ruddy with the word. It's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff. I really don't want to get into that right now. I want to focus on the Israelites, not so much Esau. We can definitely do the Esau thing another time. I want to focus on the Israelite thing because they're trying to stifle the awakening. They're trying to say that we're not the people, right? And so with this whole corona pandemic and everything that's going on, I want to give my people some good stuff, I want to give y'all some good food. Like I know y'all been bombarded with this stuff. So I want to give y'all some good food. Y'all could come here today, y'all can learn something and take your mind off everything that's going on outside your doors. So we'll definitely come back to that. We're not going to run from that. We'll definitely come back to that. I promise. Okay. So let me go ahead and close some of these windows real quick. Then I'm going to share my screen again. Now I made a statement, right? And what I want to say to you, brothers and sisters, is this is years of me studying. I don't expect everybody to see things the way I see it and stuff like that, because some of you are still studying, you're still learning, right? I am a proponent of the KJV, right? To me, it is my go-to translation as I was taught by my elders, and I continue that tradition, and that's what I teach the men under me. The KJV is my go-to Bible. But here's what I need brothers and sisters to understand, and I say this because I've done exhaustive studies. The KJV is not an imperfect translation. It's not. And the proof of that is the 8 revisions that they did, and Westcott and Hort and other things that we know about that I've mentioned before. It's not a imperfect translation, but it's the best translation for me. But here's what I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, right? The KJV, some other translations of the Bible render certain verses better. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, some of the other translations of the Bible render verses better than the KJV. And I'm telling you this as somebody that uses the KJV. And you might have, brother, prove it. Okay, watch. I'm gonna go into my PowerPoint just for a second, one slide. Watch. So you got to study, you got to study and be all over the place and cross-reference information to be able to get to the truth, right? Now, here, let's blow the slide up. Let's start from slideshow, and we'll start from current slide. This is a translation of 1 Samuel 16, verse 12. Now, let's start with the KJV right here. Y'all can see where my thing is down here, right? This is what it says. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is what it says, right? It says, and he sent and brought him in. Now he, talking about David, was ruddy and with all of a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. Now here's the problem. The so-called white man has always taught you that ruddy means red. So they say that's he, and we're red. So David was a white man. This proves David was a white man. No, it does not. It does not. If you look right here at the same verse in the New Living Translation, look what it says. It says, so Jesse sent for him. He was what? Dark and handsome. That is a better translation of 1 Samuel 16 and 12 than even the KJV has, because it's letting you know that David was black, which we know. We know this. But if you don't understand words and how certain words in the English in the KJV have been misappropriated, like the word virgin, everybody teaches that. Well, virgin means this over here. It means this over exactly. Well, the word world means this over here, but in this context over here, the word world means something else exactly. It's the same with ruddy. If you don't know how to do it, you're lost. So in something, and I don't support the New Living Translation, that's not what I'm saying. But I am letting you know that certain translations render certain verses better. These are facts. So Jesse sent for him. He was dark and handsome. Now this is consistent with what we teach, that David was a black man. So that's correct. When you come down here to the ISV, same thing. So he sent and brought him. He had a dark and healthy complexion. So the translators of the ISV realized that word ruddy wasn't telling you that David was red at all. It was not. They got it right. Okay? I just want y'all to see that. That's very, very important to understand. All right? Let me stop sharing this for a second. Stop sharing just for a second. Right. Why? Yeah, yo, Mika, you on it. Matter of fact, you on it. Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at that real quick before I stop sharing. Let me share my screen again. Let's look at that real quick, right? Y'all probably seen this meme on Facebook, right? But if you haven't, check this out. How many of you have seen this before on social media, right? They had a crayon called Indian Red. What color is it? It's brown. It's brown. Let's click on this one. Y'all see that? That's Indian Red. Look how dark it is. So they try to tell you that ruddy means red and the white man and stuff like that. No, it's brown. It's brown. It's brown. All right. So enough of that. Enough of that for now. Right. Right. Exactly, Warrior Lord. Exactly. All righty. All praises. All praises. Bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna flip the script again. I'm gonna go into something completely different. Let me set it up for y'all. I might go into it. Let me see if it is. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting. I'm going to share this with you, brothers and sisters. This is not in the form of a PowerPoint or nothing. This is just random. Like I said, I'm just going into random stuff. I didn't really have a method to my madness after I went through all my tabs. I didn't really have a method to my madness. As long as y'all listening, I don't mind teaching y'all and giving y'all information. I want you brothers and sisters to know, I know I keep repeating it, and I'm going to keep repeating. I want you brothers and sisters to know there's nothing that we teach that we don't know what we're talking about. I want y'all to understand that. Just because we don't always show our hand doesn't mean that we don't know what we're talking about. So I'm going to show you, brothers and sisters, something today, why I teach a particular thing, and I'm going to give you a resource for it. But I want to see if you guys are paying attention. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to look at the chat. I need everybody to be paying attention to what I'm about to show you. First, let me take a sip of this wonderful concoction here. Don't mind the face. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm about to give y'all some fire. I'm about to give y'all something. Just a little tidbit. If you came to my lecture last year, you saw this already. If you didn't, you may have never seen this before. I'm going to give y'all a little tidbit. But before I give it to you, I want to ask some questions. And the reason why I'm going to ask y'all these questions, I want to make sure y'all are paying attention. Because I can't give this to you if you're not paying attention. Give me 1 second. All right. Glad nobody's next to me because that thing has garlic in it. I know my breath is probably woo. All right. I got a question. Yeah, Fryman said, think McDonald's. Right. I have a question. I'm coming to the chat. I'm paying attention. I need audience participation to show y'all this. I have a cousin. I have a cousin. And me and my cousin, we grow up together. Me and my cousin, we grow up together. And then when I reach adulthood, I have a son. How is my son and my cousin related? First of all, are they related? And if so, how are they related? Put that in the chat, please. I need to see. I need to see. I have a cousin. We grow up together. When we get grown and we're adults, now I have a son. How is my son and my cousin related? Good. Okay. Good. Excellent. Second cousins. Right. Somebody said cousins once removed. Yep. Second cousins. All the same stuff. Very, very good, brothers and sisters. Very, very good. Very, very good. So now I'm going to show y'all something, right? When we teach, well, first of all, let me say this. The reason why there is such a backlash against the English Bibles, and particularly they attack the KJV because it's the most popular translation. The reason why they do that is because in order for people to put the Bible down, the first thing that they must do is they must do what? They must destroy the character of the people that were involved in the translation. They must destroy the character. Okay. So we've been presented with the most popular Bible, English translation, King James. We've been taught that he was a white homosexual. That's what we've been taught. Hell, I used to believe that thing too. It is what it is until I knew better. Now, for years upon years upon years, we've been telling people that is not true. He was actually a black man. And he was not a homosexual. And we've been told, we've been called every name in the book from pseudo. You don't know what you're talking about. You guys try to make everybody black. All that stuff. Y'all heard all the slurs and everything, and we just laugh it off because my elders were 25 to 30 years ahead of where the conscious community is today. And I'm about to show you, brothers and sisters, something you probably never saw before. First thing I want to tell you to prepare you to see it, you must understand that amongst academia, amongst the elites, they use words that we don't use every day. So you have to have a certain level of understanding, a certain level of teaching and preparation so that when you read scholastic and scholarly books and you see certain words, it's supposed to set off a trigger in your mind like, wait a minute, right? And that takes time. Now, let's go back to my analogy. You brothers and sisters told me if I have a cousin and then I have a son, my son is related to my cousin and their cousins too. That's what y'all told me. Okay, let me give you brothers and sisters some history. You had a woman by the name of Mary, Queen of Scots, right? She had a cousin. Her cousin's name was Elizabeth I of England. So you had Mary and Elizabeth. They were cousins. Mary had a son named James that we all know. So how was James and Elizabeth related? They were cousins. They're cousins. They're cousins. Good. Now, I'm going to show y'all something. Well, let me say it first. Let me go to, this is not even in a PowerPoint. I'm sitting on so much stuff, I just don't always show my hand. I'm actually going to take y'all into a folder that's not even into a PowerPoint yet. I'm just going to show y'all one little itty bitty thing. Am I sharing my screen yet? I am not. My bad. Hold on a second. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to go ahead and get it together in a second. Boom. Okay, let me share my screen. Watch this. And let me start off by saying, before I even go to where I'm going, if I'm showing you a slide of a book, I have the book too. How would I know what's in the book unless I had the book? Sometimes if I can get the book as a PDF online, I'm going to use that instead of opening up the actual book. I got to say these things because you got a lot of people out here that's funny status, right? Okay. Now I'm going to take y'all into this little folder I have over here. And I got some stuff in here, right? A whole bunch of junk, but I got some good stuff in here. Let me introduce you, brothers and sisters, to this book right here, right? Wait, let me see something. What is this? What is this? Nope. That's not what I want. This is what I want right here. This is a book called Queen Elizabeth I, and it's by an author by the name of G.W.O. Woodward. G.W.O. Woodward. He is the author of this book. Now, you had a guy by the name of Giovanni, right? His name was Giovanni. He actually visited the court of Queen Elizabeth I. He actually visited her. This is an eyewitness account. He visited her. He saw her. And when he returned to his country, he reported about his visit with Elizabeth I, including how she looked. Now, this is not me making it up. This is not me trying to make everybody black. None of that stuff. We are going to go and read what the eyewitness says concerning how this queen looked, who is the cousin of King James. How did she look? How did she look? Let me go ahead and close this slide, close this picture, and let's go to the next picture right here. Let's blow this on up. All right. Y'all can see that, right? Now, you see this picture above. I'm telling you that this picture above, they mess with it. They mess with the face. But we're not even going to look at that right here. Let's read what the description says, right? This is what it says. It says, when she came to the throne, Elizabeth was tall, auburn-haired, and vivacious, attractive without being particularly beautiful. Her face is comely rather than handsome, but she is tall, well-formed, with good skin. Keep that in mind. With good skin. With good skin, although sallow. Now you have to ask yourself, you never heard the word sallow before, probably not. You've never heard the word sallow before. What does that mean? The average Negro would read right past that. But we're not average. We're Israelites. We're not average. We're going to come back to this. Watch this. Let's look up the word sallow. Let's start here. Let's start here. This is Webster's Dictionary, right? Excuse me, dictionary.com. It says sallow, of a sickly, yellowish, or light brown color. Light brown color. Light brown color. Now they add the word sickly here. How do we know that this part does not apply to Elizabeth I? We just read it. Let's come back. It says here that she was comely. She had good skin, although it was sallow. So we know she didn't have bad skin. She had good skin, but her skin was what? Sallow. And what does the definition of sallow mean? Let's come back. Let's look at it again. The definition of sallow means brown, yellowish, or light brown. This was a brown woman. A brown woman. This is the cousin of the king that y'all say was white. And this is an eyewitness account. Let's go to the next one. I'm not done. Let's go to the next one. Oh, nope. Got to start here. Got to give you this first. This definition is from a dictionary of the English language containing the pronunciation, etymology, and explanation of all words authorized by eminent writers. It's by Alexander Reed. It's an old book from the 1800s. When you look up the word sallow in here, what does it say sallow means? It says sallow means yellow. Yellow. Sallowness. Yellowness. But they put right here sickly and paleness. But we know she wasn't sickly because we read the account. We read the account. It says she was comely. She was handsome. She had good skin. But she was sallow. She was yellow. She was brown. She was of a brown complexion. But I'm not done yet. One more. When you come to etymology.com and you look up sallow, you got to look up the adjective, right? Oops. My mistake. Sorry. Let's come back. What does it say here? Sallow, adjective. Old English, sallow. What does it say? Dusky or dark. So when you start getting into the etymology, they're telling you that word sickly really has nothing to do with the word sallow. It's actually really talking about a dark or brownish yellow complexion. Nothing to do with sickly at all. Dusky, dark. From Proto-Germanics, Salawa, okay? Discolored or dirty. Old High German, dirty gray. Dirty gray is almost like a black, or almost like a black, real dark, okay? Old Norse, solor, meaning dirty yellow. Dirty yellow will be like a mustard color. A dark yellow, almost brown. From PA root sal, dirty gray, right? Slavonic, grayish blue color. In other words, dark, right? From Russian, salavaj, meaning cream colored, meaning like a yellow. So all these definitions are letting you know this was a yellowish to brown woman, not a white woman, not a white woman, not at all. So when you come back, and I got way more than this, real quick, let's look at this. When somebody says somebody is yellow, right? Let me use this one instead. When somebody says somebody is yellow, all these colors are yellow. You see that color Dijon? Dijon is almost a brown. Flaxen is almost a brown. Medallion is almost a brown, right? Honey is almost a brown. We call light-skinned black people butterscotch all the time. These are all yellows. But these are not white people, because black people come in different shades of brown. So when we come back to the primary source, what does it say? It says, when she came to the throne, Elizabeth was tall, auburn-haired, and vivacious, attractive. Without being particularly beautiful, her face is comely rather than handsome. But she is tall, well-formed, with good skin, and sallow, meaning a yellowish brown woman. She had fine eyes, commented who? The Venetian ambassador Giovanni. He had an eyewitness account of what she looked like, and he didn't say she was a white woman at all. At all. I'm just saying. And that's not all I have. I got way more than that. But I said I would just share that with y'all, just as a little tidbit. There's so much that I could go into. You know, it's crazy. Like when we tell y'all we know what we're talking about, we know what we're talking about. Real quick. Let me see something. Let me come here. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. I think I'm going to close that PowerPoint. I think that was enough of that. And I'm going to see if I can open up another PowerPoint, and I want to show y'all something. If I could. I don't even know if it's in here. That's not what I wanted. No, that's definitely not what I wanted. No, I don't have it in here. Y'all gonna have to wait for that one. I thought I had it in here, but I didn't put it on here. Shame on me. Shame on me. Yeah, I'm gonna well, you know what? Maybe I might be able to share it with you guys. I don't know. Y'all want to bear with me 1 second. I gotta find up the flash drive that it's on. Bear with me a second. If I'm able to find it, I will give it to you. I'll give y'all this little tidbit. Doesn't make sense. We're in the end, man. We're in the end. So, as Dr. Clark so eloquently pointed out, there's certain things I just teach. I don't ask people what they think about it. I just teach it because I know it's right. I got the proof, and I'm not waiting for somebody to tell me what I already know. Bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna see if it's on this flash drive. If it's not on this flash drive, then I can't show it to you, brothers and sisters, today. If it is, then I will. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it might be in here. Let's see. This is a very large PowerPoint, so just bear with me a second, family. This is a very, very large PowerPoint. And sometimes it gives me problems. I made a mistake by putting so many slides in this one PowerPoint that sometimes it gives me problems opening up. Okay, there it is. Let me see something. All right, I ain't got patience for this. Hold on a second. I don't know if it's in here, so let me just, there's one particular slide I want to show you, brothers and sisters, something. This PowerPoint right here is 200 slides long. I just kind of want to show y'all one thing. Just one, that's all. Thing moves kind of slow, just bear with me. All right, it's got to be in here. I think this might be it. Yeah, this is it. Where does it? Oops, wrong thing. Where does it say I can save? Just picture one. Okay. All right, that's good. Now, come here and come down. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it. I'm gonna share this with y'all. Either you get it or you don't. I'm gonna share this with y'all right now. Give me 1 second. Come back to my screen so I can share with you, brothers and sisters. All right. If you haven't hit the like button, family. Let's go. All righty. Okay. Where y'all at? Y'all still here? Y'all left me. Oh, some of y'all still here. Okay. Terrence Jefferson said me versus Shaka again. I don't know about that. I ain't gonna say no. I ain't gonna say yes. I don't know. I don't know. Some of the stuff we can't have a conversation about because I got to teach them first. He don't know this shit. None of them do. None of them do. They watch my stuff. Then they have to go back behind me and research what I'm showing. Then they come back like 2 days later trying to say that it's not right. But they didn't know about it until they heard it from me. I'm just being real. And I got our boy on video saying that. Anyway, I'm gonna share my screen, right? I want to ask you, brothers and sisters, and I'm gonna look at the chat. I'm gonna show y'all a picture. And I want you, brothers and sisters, to tell me who it is. Family, who's that? Does anybody know who that is? Does anybody know who that is? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. That's all you get. In the chat, who is that? Put it in the chat. Who's that? Nope, it's not King James. No, it's not King James. Somebody got it right, though. Somebody got it right. Somebody got it right. That wasn't Queen Elizabeth. Sabian Birdman, all right, you. Okay, I see 2 people got it right. I'm looking for a few more answers. A few more answers. 3 people got it right. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go. Let's not waste any time. Just make sure that I'm still sharing my screen. I'll be forgetting sometimes, I get confused. All right, brothers and sisters, we're taught, this is Henry Stuart Darnley, right? This is supposed to be King James's father. Y'all see what Wikipedia gives you? Do y'all see what is sitting in the National Archives in England? They tell you that that's his father. They tell you that that's his father. The problem is, when you know how to do research, you find out that there's another image of his father circulating, not in England, but in Scotland, and it's that one. Does this picture look anything like this guy at all? Nope. And by the way, just so we could be clear, this is from a museum. I didn't make this up. This is in a museum right now. Right now. Look at the hair. That's a light-skinned black man. Look at the hair. And you might wonder, who is it? Look at the side of the picture. It tells you who it is. It's Henry Lord Darnley. That's his daddy. Pictured as a black man. But when you go to the museums or the National Archives, they give you this guy. Only one could be right. Only one can be right. That's in the museum, the one you're looking at right now, and the other one is in the museum too. And both of them couldn't be more different, but only one of them is right. So again, when we tell y'all we know what we're talking about, we know what we're talking about. Oh, and one more thing, which I went into in my presentation real quick. Let's come back to this image. You're going to hear people say, oh, that's cross-hatching. If you brothers and sisters don't know what cross-hatching is, it's a way where they draw something in black and white, and they give it kind of like a little bit of a shade to it. And they're trying to, so they say that this is cross-hatching. It's really a white man, but because this image was drawn in black or white, that's why it has a little bit of a complexion to it. But you can't cross-hatch somebody's hair. You can't cross-hatch an afro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The afro is a dead giveaway. And this guy right here, which is in a museum in Scotland, see that right there in Scotland, don't look nothing like this MF right here. And that's all I'm going to say for now. I don't think I need to really say anything else. I don't really think I need to say anything else. I could say way more, and I got tons, man. I got tons. I got tons. There's a lot more I could go into today, brothers and sisters, but I've been before y'all for over 2 hours. And I don't want to inundate y'all or flood y'all with too much and bore y'all with this information. This stuff is interesting to me. I know some people was like, history and information is interesting to me, man, because it was stolen from me. So all them years in school, when I was cutting class, sorry, y'all. All those years in school, when I was cutting class, I cut class because I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested because everybody they put for me was white. So when I learned this history, that's what makes me go so hard now. It's like, damn, man, I got to make up for all them. Listen, I was the king of cutting classes in high school, y'all. Nobody was better at cutting class than me. I was in 4th period lunch, 5th period lunch, 6th period lunch, and I left school early. That's why they threw me out. There's something back in the days when I went to school called being homebound. They got tired of my BS. They homebound me. I had to go. They have something called I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. For those of y'all that don't know, your money earned in Mount Vernon. That's where I'm from. And they had something called like an academy for everybody that got kicked out of high school. And I got kicked out of high school because, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't interested. You know what I'm saying? So when I came into the truth, and I always tell y'all the story, I ain't gonna go into it right now. One of the main things that made me come into the truth when I was a 5%er was some of the things I'm showing y'all. The elders were saying that shit in 92 when I came in. They were saying that back then. And I'm like, no, he got to prove that. What you mean that these people are black people? You got to prove that. And so that's what kept me coming back. It wasn't the Bible thing at first. It was the claims that they would make about certain things in history. And I was like, and then I started going and I got hooked. All praises to the Most High. Man's goings of the Lord, like the Bible says, how then can a man understand his ways? I didn't understand why, but the Most High made me go to the classes for that. And I wound up resonating and taking heed to the scriptures and everything and dropped that whole 5%. All praise to the Most High for that. But I wasn't interested in school. And when the elders said that stuff, man, I remember that I went out and got every goddamn history book, everything that they said, I went out and I got. I spent thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars on the books I have here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't regret it at all. That's why I do these PowerPoints, because I don't expect everybody to go out. There's not enough time to read all the books I have, and nobody should be spending money on stuff like that. And these days when there's barely any jobs, right? So I put these things all in PowerPoint form for the brothers that's going to be in our academy. At the end of the academy, I'm actually going to give them the PowerPoint presentations with all the slides, all the pictures, all the primaries in it for their own personal use. And then they can go into the PowerPoint, they can add their own things as they study so that they can teach. That's what I'm doing, but they got to do their 6 months first, of course. I'm not just going to give it to them like that. But all the lessons that I have that are PowerPoints, everything, all the history breakdowns, all everything, I'm going to give it to the brothers and sisters to the brothers that graduate the 6-month academy out of Lions of Israel. All right? Yeah, Mika's on the right channel for a change, right? Tell her 1876 Israelite, tell her she finally on the right channel. You know what I'm saying? Because she be on the wrong channel over there. Let me see. Before I go, let me see if there's anything else I want to share with y'all. Anything interesting, as long as I'm here and y'all are engaged, and I like sharing little things with you brothers and sisters until I'm able to get to the actual lessons. What else do I feel like sharing with you brothers and sisters, if anything? A lot of stuff is not on this computer. What else? I still, oops. Bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to show y'all something. I guess this is pretty common knowledge, but I'll share it with y'all. Maybe some of you brothers and sisters aren't familiar with the writings of John Mackey, right? So let's see if current slide. Oops. I did that without sharing my screen first. That's not good. Okay, share the screen. What's the question marks for? You asked, what about the White Israelites video? Listen, I got the presentation. I have it. Trust me. Let me show you, because I've been thinking what y'all young people say, y'all be like, what's the word y'all use? Capping? Y'all think I be capping, right? I don't cap. Like if I tell you that I got stuff, I got it. Sometimes if you came late, what you don't understand is the presentation is so stupid. The video was so stupid that I'm gonna eventually give y'all some of these slides, but I sat down and watched the whole thing, and it was horrible. It was almost like a waste of effing time. Let me see. Did I share my screen yet? Let me just show you that I have the presentation. I'm not just telling you I have it. I have it. Okay, here it is. All right, check this out. Right, you asked, what about the presentation of the okay, here it is. You see this? Nope, that's not it. That's another presentation I have. Whole another presentation. This is you see what it's called? The name of the presentation, it says 100 proofs, right? This is 100 proofs that the Israelites are white. This is a whole PowerPoint presentation. So you guys know that I'm not capping or I'm not lying when I tell y'all I do have the presentation, but it just was so beneath us that I feel like this is something I should be going over with new people more so than people that are seasoned in the truth, because it was so beneath us, right? But you know what? Since you asked, give me 1 second. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second, and I'm gonna go in and see if there's anything relevant that I think maybe you brothers and sisters can use. Since you asked so nicely, give me a second. Slideshow, current slide. I'm just gonna browse through the slides for a second and see if there's anything that I think Maybe that. Okay, maybe that. I guess I could show you this. Like a lot of slides are just not really. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. I'll give you a couple of slides. Let's see. I'll give you a couple of slides from here. Since you asked, it's really just, to me, it wasn't. These guys are not worth it, but you asked, so here we go. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. 1 second. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and share the screen. So they were making claims that the Egyptians are white people, right? Okay. I'm gonna go to the next slide. All right. So we know that the Israelites were in Egypt amongst the Egyptians, right? We know that Christ, according to the New Testament, hid out in Egypt. And we know that from Herod, and we know that Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian, right? Those are all scriptures that prove the Israelites were black. But another scripture that proves the Israelites were black is Genesis, the 50th chapter. A lot of brothers and sisters don't know that, right? And so in the video, they were claiming that the Israelites were white people. So if that's the case, they have to explain this to us. So I'm just going to read down real quick. I'm going to speed read through this and get to the point of why this slide is even in here. It says, Joseph fell upon his father's face and wept upon him and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. And the physicians embalmed Israel. And 40 days were fulfilled to him. So are fulfilled the days of those which are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 70 days. And when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spake unto the house of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Lo, I die. In my grave, which I have digged for me in the land of Canaan, there shalt thou bury me. Now therefore let me go up, I pray thee, and bury my father, and I will come again. And Pharaoh said, Go up and bury thy father according as he made thee swear. And Joseph went up to bury his father with him. Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and the elders of the land of Egypt. So when Joseph went to bury Israel, his father Jacob, the Egyptians that were his servants, they went with him. You got to pay attention now. Verse 8. And all the house of Joseph and his brethren, so Joseph and his house, Joseph and Ephraim and Manasseh, they also went up to bury Jacob and his brethren and his father's house. So the Israelites and the Egyptians both went to bury Jacob. Only their little ones and their flocks and their herds they left in the land of Goshen. Verse number 9. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen. It was a very great company. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan. And there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation, and made a mourning for his father 7 days. Here's the point. And when the inhabitants of the land of Canaan saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians. So when the Canaanites saw this procession, they saw everybody, and everybody looked the same. Everybody dressed the same, and everybody looked the same. It looked like they were all Egyptians. So even as early as in the book of Genesis chapter 50, the Israelites and the Egyptians, they pretty much looked the same. And when you look to the right of your screen, this is from the tomb of Rectmir. And everybody on the wall is brown. So if the Israelites were mistaken for the Egyptians, and the Egyptians look like this, then what color were the Israelites? They were black. Black. So this whole thing about the Israelites being white people can't be true, because the Israelites and the Egyptians, when the other nations stood afar off and saw the burial processions, to them everybody looked the same. Everybody looked the same. Okay. Stop sharing. What else? Let's do this one too. Come back. Let's do this one too. Nope. Let's come back. And this is from the tomb of Amenhotep. From the tomb of Amenhotep. Look at the walls. So the same thing applies. Look at everybody on the walls. This is how the Egyptians look. This is how they looked. So how is it that the Israelites could be mistaken for the Egyptians? How is it that Christ could be mistaken for an Egyptian? How is it that Paul could be mistaken for an Egyptian and be white people at the same time? What else? This is from the tomb of King Tut. Same thing applies. This is King Tut. This statue and this statue is of King Tut. What color are they? Black. They're black. If the Israelites were a bunch of white people, it would have stood out. They would have known that, hey, those are Egyptians and some other people. The Canaanites didn't say that. Everybody looked the same to them. The way they dressed, the way they looked, everything. What else? Real quick one. When they say that David was ruddy, right? I already showed you, brothers and sisters, this earlier, right? This is a search for ruddy animals, right? This is a book called The Icon by Kurt Weitzman. Black people didn't write this. Kurt Weitzman, that to me sounds like a so-called Jewish name. And he made a book and compiled a lot of the Russian icons. And when you look in the book King David, this is King David right here. In this book, The Icon. And if you look at King David, look at his face, look at the woolly hair, look at his hands, right? And you could compare his complexion of his face and his hands to the side of this book right here, which is light. You could see the difference. This was purposefully painted brown because David was brown. And this guy right here matches these people. So this is not something that black people just made up. All the information is out there. We don't have to make anything up. It's not necessary. All we got to do is just know the information, know where to look, and put it out there. That's all. It's simple. This is not, nothing that we go into is rocket science. It's all out there. It just takes time for you brothers and sisters to learn, right? Real quick, let's just go here. This is probably the last thing I'm going to share. What time is it too? Let me see. I have a conference call. I don't want to lose all my voice before I even get on a conference call. Okay, let me share my screen one more time. This is where I'm this is what I'm going to show you, brothers and sisters, real quick. There's a book out there called Memoirs of the Secret Service of John Mackey. Brothers and sisters, this PDF is available online for free. You don't even have to buy this book. There was a time when we had to buy it. But this book is available for PDF for free. If you look hard enough online, you'll be able to download the PDF to your computer or your phone for free. This is a primary source. This is a primary source. Just like I showed y'all with Elizabeth, John Mackey was also an eyewitness in the court of the kings of England. He was an eyewitness. He actually saw them face to face. He too wrote down descriptions of what these people look like, right? So let's go ahead and let's see. Some of you probably are already familiar with this information, but some of you may not be. And again, this is something that you can get online. It's not really hard to get. Shout out to my man, brother Reggie. You know I had to mess with you, Reggie, right? You know I had to mess with you. So, you know, the conscious community, they got some explaining to do, right? When you go to Google Images, we're told that this is Charles Lenos, which is the son of Charles II. Charles II is a black man, as we're going to read. When you go to Google Images, this is what they give you. But let's read the eyewitness account. Charles Lenos, Duke of Richmond, who is he? Charles Lenos is the son to who? King Charles II. Let's go back to this thing right here. I give you the whole breakdown. You had James VI. That's King James. That's King James, the famous King James. You had James VI, his son, Charles I, his son, Charles II. This is what we're focusing on, Charles II. Let's go. Charles II had a son named Charles Lenos, Duke of Richmond. All right, is the son of King Charles II. Let's just come right down to the description. He is a gentleman, good-natured to a fault, very well bred, and hath many valuable things in him. Is an enemy to, I can't read what that word is, very credulous, very well shaped, black complexion, much like King Charles. Black complexion, much like King Charles. When was this book written? It was written in 1733. 17, not 2020, not 2010, not by a black Israelite, not like black people that's trying to make everybody black. No, an eyewitness was in the court of King Charles II and said Charles II has a black complexion and so does his son. This is from 1733, but I thought they said we was making this stuff up. And this book is available for free via PDF online right now. Let's go to the next one. Charles Fitzroy, Duke of Northumberland. This is what they give you on Google Images. But let's read the eyewitness description. Is son to King Charles II. So this is another son that Charles II had. And what is his description? Let's come down. He is a man of honor, nice in paying debts and living well with his neighbors in his country. Does not care much for the conversation of men of quality or benefits, is a tall black man like his father, the king. Like his father. He is a tall black man like his father, the king. Who was his father? His father was King Charles II, who is the grandson of the King James that they tell us was a white man. Listen, that's all. I had nothing else to say. I'm done. Now y'all understand what we tell y'all when we tell y'all. When we tell you, we know what we talking about. When we tell you that these people were black, now y'all seen it. Now you've seen it. And we got way more. Way more. Way more. So, I hope that some of the stuff I went into, you brothers and sisters were edified. Hopefully it helped. Sorry about that noise. Hopefully it helped. And I did it because I'm just trying to take y'all mind off of Corona 24/7, 365, but we still gonna talk about it because it's still important, right? I ain't gonna get away from that, but I just wanted to show y'all some stuff and give y'all some other stuff to think about and let y'all know, man, this is the truth. Never fall out the truth, brothers and sisters. Never fall out the truth. This is the truth. Most High has blessed you so that you are in the truth in these last days, and you know what's coming. You know what the prophecies say. You know, we give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Napa, shalom to you, sister. What's good, sister Napa, in the building? Thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it. And hopefully you brothers and sisters were edified. That's all I can say. You know, I'll continue to bring you brothers and sisters information to the channel. For the brothers that's going to join the academy, that's going to be in the academy, it's going to be intense. I'm telling you now, it's going to be intense. All right, so this everybody's not going to be cut out for it, and everybody's not going to make it. It's going to be intense, but you're going to come out on the other side as a scholar in give me 6 months to teach you. All right, love y'all. If you haven't hit the like button and you've been taking my information down and you haven't hit the like button, and shame on you, man. Show your brother some love. I appreciate and love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. Oh, woo, the deacon was going to kick my behind. Wow. Wow, the deacon was going to kick my behind. Wow, I forgot. I've been talking for 2.5 hours and I forgot. Yo, Corey Finks, I want to say shout out to you and thank you for the donation. I don't know how you donated, but the Treasury told me, they sent me a text. I don't know how. I'm not involved in the Treasury. I think it's a conflict of interest. It's my opinion. Anybody get mad, you mad, I don't give a shit. It's a conflict of interest for the leader of the camp to be over the Treasury. That's how we have all these problems in Israel to begin with. I'm not in the Treasury. So I don't even know how you donated. I don't know. I just share the links. They deal with it. Thank you for your donation. Somebody named Sister Kathy Garcia. Thank you for your donation. Whatever you donated. He texted me that. Thank you. Thank you everybody that supported. Thank you for everybody that hits my Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Randomly, you know, all praises to the Most High for that. And we're going to continue to bring y'all good information, continue to fight the good fight, stay in the spirit. This is the truth. I say peace and blessings to everybody that's watching. Peace and blessings to the Lions of Israel. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Hit the like button, share the video everywhere, and I'll be back sooner than later if it be the Most High's will. All right? I love y'all, and I say peace. Your spirit. Turn your radios all the way up. Roll your windows down. Yeah.
I'm moving on. You can dim my light. You can pray for my downfall every night. Yeah. See, this truth makes me high. I'm a rocket till I die. I take my wings and fly high. You can't wear me down. This lonely road is very long. I pray Yahweh keeps me strong. Cause with him there can be no wrong. You can't wear me down.
See, I can fall or drown in self-doubt, or stand on my feet and pull myself out. Yeah. If I was weak, I'd throw the towel in easily, or take a second look to see what life is teaching me, and embrace it boldly. No rush, I take it slowly. If I go off the path, then I pray you show me. I was blessed with talents, and I accept the challenge. Life's a tightrope wall, somehow I kept it balanced. And when they tried to wear me, I knew that y'all would spare me. I kept the law, I'm not sure that some of y'all could hear me. But I'm not surprised, failure is not advised. Can't walk a mile in my shoes, my man, you're not your size. Take these words and share it, go let your mother hear it. If he's down with the soul, he'll lift up brother's spirit. And to the precious sisters, music was made to lift us. Touch our spirit at times, if it's based in scriptures. And never say that your hope is done. Your faith is built, every obstacle you overcome. Count your blessings, cause life is a precious gift. Praise to Yahweh and the greatest king that ever lived. Yahweh Shai.
See, this truth makes me high. I'm a rocket till I die. I take my wings and fly high. You can't wear me down. This lonely road is very long. I pray Yahweh keeps me strong. Cause with him there can be no wrong. You can't wear me down.